Guys, I want to systematically show you how to search a vehicle. Every search that I do on a vehicle starts the same scenario. I start in the driver's seat and I work my way around counterclockwise around the vehicle until I reach the hood. The only exception to that is when I spot a trap in plain view. So in this scenario, when this vehicle drove by me, I saw the tires sticking well below the bumper. I went on after it. As I'm driving behind the vehicle, I want to make sure that it's properly secured. Driving behind a vehicle for about a mile, the tire wasn't wobbling at all. I could see that it was secured. At this point in time, I believe that I had trap in the car. As soon as I stop the car, I go up. As I make my approach, the first thing I did, hop underneath the car. It was that simple, and I identified the trap in plain view. When I begin my search, the first place I went was the trunk. The trap is open at this point. But I knew I had a compartment in the rear deck. Now it's about finding the wires. So usually through experiences, the wires either run down the driver's side floor panel or they can potentially run down the center of the vehicle. I've never come into a situation where I've had them along the passenger side. So I'll come back here. I'll pull up this side molding on the floorboard. And when I did that, I located these aftermarket wires right here. You can see that it's 2 wires wrapped in electrical tape. Obviously that's aftermarket. I pried back the molding here. And when I looked down, I was able to see that it was running directly into the trap. So I spliced the wires, I applied my power, activated the trap. Just because I located the trap doesn't mean my search stops there. Now I'm going to resort immediately to my systematic search. So I open up the driver's door and I start with the driver door. I roll down the window, I take a screwdriver, an upholstery tool, I'll take my flashlight, I'll stick my upholstery tool or screwdriver in between that felt in the window and I'll look down. I'll be able to see, just apply a little bit of pressure on the window. You don't want to shatter it. But by doing so, you'll be able to see all the way down into this anomaly in the door. Okay, able to roll this out. I'll even shake it. Obviously, if there's stuff in the door jamb, you're going to hear it rattle. But if there's nothing there, and like in this scenario, if there was anything inside the door, I'd hear it rattle. Now I want to rule out. I'll break down the dashboard into 3 parts. Above the steering column, behind the radio, and near the glove box. I want to rule out every anomaly in each one of those sections. Okay, so I'll hop underneath the steering column and look straight up, and then I'll hop underneath and I'll look across behind the radio to rule out that anomaly. By doing so, I'm able to shine my flashlight straight up. I don't see anything aftermarket. I was able to shine my flashlight directly behind the radio, and I can rule out that anomaly behind there. I don't see any carpet, I don't see any sheet metal, I don't see any dynamat. You might see some contraband or money if it was no trap and just in a natural void, but I don't see any of that there. Now I would want to rule out the center console. The easiest way by doing that is to pry up this molding right here. This is a large natural void right beneath the gear shifter. Okay, so the easiest way to rule this area out is by prying this up from the bottom and looking in. So I'll duck down, I'll stick my upholstery tool on the bottom. I'll apply a little bit of pressure just to get it about 1 inch off the ground. Shine my flashlight in there and rule that anomaly out. In doing so, I can basically see directly in there. Okay. Now I want to rule out the seat. So we can find some seats actually underneath the cushion. So you want to stick your head under and look up. There's a little bit of felt. You should see little holes in the bottom of the seat. And I essentially connect my 2 fingers. So I'll put pressure down. I'll stick my finger up into one of these holes, and I connect. I'm able to push that cushion and connect my fingers. There's nothing in this seat. Okay? I'll always check underneath the undercarriage. Everything is factory, nothing's sealed off. So now I ruled out the floorboard, I ruled out above the steering column, I ruled out behind the radio, I ruled out the door. I'll keep an eye out up here. I'll always check the sunroof area. There's a natural void in between the ceiling and the actual roof of the vehicle. So I'll open up the sunroof, put my flashlight back there. and rule out that anomaly. That's clear. Now I work my way back, passenger side. Same thing with the door. Shove it in the corner here. Put the flashlight down. I'm able to see all the way down and rule out the entire door. Okay. You want to check the seat backs. In this scenario, it's all cloth. It's all one piece. So a lot of vehicles have that plastic seat back, and they'll install a trap right in there. There's a natural void inside there. Don't put a trunk lock or a window motor as a locking mechanism, and then the seat back will fold down, and that's where we'll put the console in. So I don't have to worry about this. But again, I'll move up the seat just to check underneath it again from a different area. Again, I'm feeling that cushion. I'm making sure it's cushioned. I made sure that there was no aftermarket sheet metal, no compartment built underneath the seat. Ruled out the door. I want to check the center console again from the back view. So a lot of times this back piece would be able to pop right off. In certain vehicles, you don't want to pop it off. In fear of breaking it, you don't want to break anything. You could do the same thing. Stick your upholstery tool underneath, pry up the plastic a little bit just to rule out the anomaly. By doing so, I can see the factory floor underneath that. It's all factory. Again, I want to rule out the seats now, so I'm going to look underneath. Maybe I'll actually pry these seats right up. Okay, I'm checking the bottom of the seat. Nothing here. It's all cloth. It's all one piece. There's nothing that can open up. I want to check the carpet. Strategically placed air fresheners. They will pull up the carpet. I can see that this is all factory. Pull the seat down. Find a lot of traps in the backs of the second row seat. This is all one piece. Okay, this is all cloth, all one piece. There's nothing back here that can open up. But you can undo the felt or the cloth back here and shine your flashlight up. I can confirm that this seat back is factory. Okay? We already searched the trunk because we found the compartment. We do the exact same thing here as we did to the other side. No difference. We get to the front, and now we do the exact same thing. We're going to drop the glove box. Open it up. Should be able to pinch the corners of the glove box, be able to drop it all the way. Stick your flashlight in there, stick your head in there. You want to look up to rule out this, and look across to rule out behind the radio. I can see all the way up to where the airbag is. And I can see all the way back behind the radio. It's clear. Close it up. I'm going to do the same thing with the center console. I'm going to pry it back to rule out this side. Clear. And then I'm going to check the seat, just like I did to the other side. Look up. I'm going to stick my finger up into the cushion. I'm going to press down. And I'm connecting my fingers to the mat. I can feel the pressure. There's nothing in the cushion. Do the same thing with the door. Roll the window down, check the door, give it a shake. Okay, so now I rolled out the entire dashboard. I rolled out the seat. I rolled out the center console. The same thing with the back. Pop the hood. Most people don't search underneath the hoods. Can't tell you how many loads I found underneath the hood. I found nothing large, but not to say that they can't be large. Okay, I found bags shoved in the engine compartment, filled with weed. And this is a great place. I've heard stories of guns being found under the engine compartment, because majority of police do not search the engine compartment. So it's a good spot to, to conceal their contraband weapons and our money. I'll come in through here. I'm going to check the firewall. I'm going to check up in here. I want to make sure all these screws are factory. There's no tampering. Okay. The air filter. And rule out all these different locations. Nothing's been tooled. Okay, I'm looking at the battery. It's covered in dust. I don't see any fingerprints. I don't see anything that's been, recently touched. Okay, so after I rule out the engine compartment, I'm done with my search. I will then come around and just examine the wheel wells. Okay, traps have been found where the access panels are in the wheel well, so I'm going to examine every single wheel well. All right. Obviously, I'm explaining this to you, but this search should take about 5 to 7 minutes. All right. Once you get that systematic search down, regardless of your knowledge on the most common spot inside of a vehicle, you'll be able to rule out every potential area where a trap could be installed. And by doing this systematic search, you're going to eventually stumble upon compartments that not many people have seen. So if you stick to this systematic search, I can guarantee you that you're going to find things that you wouldn't have found in the past. Hopefully this information helps. Good luck.